It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings, 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. A show with a positive message each morning as I talk to different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders about what they are doing in the Tampa Bay region to make a difference. So I invite you to tune into this show each and every weekday morning. It's a show with a different flavor each morning. It's a business variety show, and you never know what you're going to get, as neither do I. As I have many different people in the studio each and every morning, and just very exciting to be able to meet all the different people in the area that are doing something positive in our community. So again, the show is on weekday mornings, 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. If you ever miss any of the shows, these shows are available on demand. You can catch all that over on TampaBayRadio.com. Also up on my SoundCloud and YouTube channels. You can catch the video over on the YouTube channel. We do stream all the shows here live in studio. Just click on the Watch Live Stream button if you're at a computer at any time, and you can catch us here live or again on demand over at my YouTube channel under the channel name Jamie Maloney. Well, it's Wednesday, so it means it's time for our Working Women Wednesdays feature brought to us by Jessica Rivelli and the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. Learn more about them at workingwomenoftampabay.com. And actually, I've got the founder of the group, as always, on the phone line with me. Jessica, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Jamie. How are you?
Doing great. So I see you're celebrating your 1,000th event. That's a tough word to say, 1,000th. So, yeah. What event is this?
That is a mouthful, but it should be a mouthful, right? Yeah, we'll celebrate our 1,000th event today with a lunch at Jackson's Bistro, and we actually have the commission chair, Sandy Merman, with us talking about some of her initiatives to get more women on boards and also government appointments, governor appointments, those kind of things.
Yeah, well, take me all the way back to your first event. Do you remember what that was? And then how long ago has it been? I mean, 1,000 events. I mean, that's an incredible feat to be a part of.
Yeah, our very first event was a networking mixer at Casatina's, which is a beautiful Mexican restaurant in Little Dunedin, and the owner is a woman, so we wanted to support her. And one of our founding members, Debbie Lane, who's a hypnotherapist who's known for her work with the hiccup chick, if you remember her, back in, that would have been 2008, 2009. So Debbie Lane was our speaker, and Tina, who owns Casatina's, hosted us, and it was wonderful. And we knew at that very first event that we had something very special.
Yeah, and you've grown the networking group into quite an impressive thing. I mean, a group, I should say. I mean, you've got over 700-800 members, and I mean, I hear about the different events all the time. And I mean, you're always doing something. I mean, people can find out about these events over at workingwomenoftampabay.com. But I mean, how did you grow something from something into what it is or from nothing into what it is today? I always love to hear these stories.
Well, I really think the success of the group, there's two major reasons. Social media, and I can tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I think the big part of it is just we listened to what the women were looking for in a networking group. They didn't want a group where they had rules or had to be at a certain place at a certain time, and they wanted the options of choosing the events that were meaningful and impactful to them, and they wanted to choose them based on their own schedule. We've talked about this before. I mean, women wear a lot of hats, especially when they're small business owners, and they wanted to be able to pick and choose which events during what time and which location, and so that, that's why we have such a robust calendar of up to 20 events a month, is because we really try to hit all areas of Tampa Bay and all day parts, mornings, lunches, evening events. We try to do educational stuff. We try to do social events like spa events and boutique events. And so we put everything up on the calendar, and then we let these women choose what works for them and what they're going to find value in. And I think that's the secret to it. And the other piece is social media. We were really lucky to be, coming on board right as Twitter and Facebook were really taking off. And if it wasn't for social media, especially the free opportunities that social media provides, I don't think we could have grown so fast in such a short amount of time. So I think we I love to say that we had a little bit of fairy dust sprinkled over us in the very beginning, and
Right.
something special happened. And from that, 1,000 events later, and like you said, 750 members, and that's where we are today.
Now, tell me a little bit about our guest today. I know you've got Renee Dabbs in here today. We're going to be talking about We Will Tampa Bay, an organization that you're a part of. Tell me a little bit about this and preview the show for us.
Yeah, I'm really super excited to have Renee on the show today because the We Will symposium that her and I are working on, she founded this great event, and it was really a movement last year, and I really wanted to come on board and be a part of it. There's something so important about us encouraging these strong women, especially these small business owners who wear all these hats. They make great potential, whether that's government appointments or whether that's, leaders here in the community. And this symposium is really going to encourage them to get more involved in politics and know, how to be more civically engaged and how they can lead their community. And I really feel like that's what we need, at this point in time. We need to be encouraging women to lead, whether that's local, whether that's state, whether that's, the country. So Renee will explain a little bit about how that symposium does it, but Working Women is a very proud supporter of it, and I am a proud co-chair of the event with Renee.
Yeah, it's going to be a great discussion. We're going to do that on the second part of the show, though, of the We Will Tampa Bay organization, and it's all about getting women in political in the political arena. So it's going to be a great discussion with Renee Dabbs on the second part of the show. Also, you got Monica Leonard in here, founder of Molly's Suds. Tell me a little bit about her.
Yeah, I'm so excited that Molly's there.
Or Monica.
I'm still used to say Molly.
I did the same thing. You keep looking at Molly's Suds and you confuse them. I know.
Monica's awesome, and I just gotten to know her in the last couple of weeks, and I've heard her story about how she came up with this product, and I'm so excited to have her at the conference to talk about, women in the startup phase, and I'm sure she'll share some of the amazing successes she's had, but she's a perfect example of a woman that had an idea. She's very passionate about her product, and she's pushing it forward. And I'm sure she'll share with you some of her recent successes. But we need more women like that, just like we need more women in the political arena. We need more women coming up with these awesome products, and we need to support them. And we'll be doing that at the conference, which is just a little over 2 weeks away.
Yeah, September 10th and 11th at the Straw Center. People can get their tickets. Is tickets still available?
Yeah, tickets.
Okay, make sure I didn't say something wrong there. But yeah, I know it's filling up fast. WorkingWomenConference.com, and if they use promo code Maloney 2015, you get 10% off those tickets. But again, that's going to be a major event, and kudos to Jessica for putting this on again. Last year's event was an amazing event. I expect no less this year. So, Jessica, I greatly appreciate you checking in and being part of Working Women Wednesdays each week.
Thanks, Jamie. You have a great show.
Thanks, Jessica. And again, that was Jessica Rivelli, CEO and founder of the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. As always, learn more about them, workingwomenoftampabay.com. Time to bring on my first guest for the show. Monica Leonard is the founder of Molly's Suds and is passionate about continuously educating herself and consumers about the chemical dangers we come across in our daily lives. Monica's experiences and compassion as a mother and pediatric nurse drove her to develop a line of truly safe household products known as Molly's Suds. Monica, welcome to the show today.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. It's exciting.
So I'll try not to, interchange the names Molly and
okay.
Monica. I made the mistake. Jessica's made the mistake. So, but first off, talk to me about what Molly's Suds is.
Sure. So the history of me is that I used to be a pediatric nurse. And in 2005, my husband and I had our daughter Molly, and she was our fourth child, but she was stillborn. And it was kind of a really surreal moment for us. Obviously, it was, traumatic. You don't expect that to happen. Mm-hmm. But something also about being in pediatrics and being a nurse, I knew I did everything, quote, right. And it's that moment of what happened, what went wrong, why would this happen? And for me, as far as faith goes, it was never a question of faith. I know that God has a purpose and a plan, but it was what medically could have gone wrong. And so once I kind of got my wits about myself, a couple months later, I started doing some research, and I found this really, just horrible but impactful study that was done by a physician. And he actually did this study on his own granddaughter that was born. he took a cord blood sample, and they wanted to test this cord blood to see if there were any chemicals. And a little history about that is the mom was actually an organic eater and did everything, what she felt to be very natural and healthful. Mm-hmm. So they took this cord blood sample, and they ended up finding that there were 240 chemicals in the cord blood, but some of those were human natural chemicals that you would expect to find, but about 150 of those chemicals were not. They were from everyday bath and body products. They were from detergents. They were from additives to food, colorants, dyes, pesticides. And the scary thing is these chemicals that were found in newborn baby cord blood, some of them were discontinued in the mother's lifetime. Mm-hmm. So they were passed on from the grandmother. Mm-hmm. So now we know that these chemicals are passed on through a cellular level. Our bodies store them. And so I knew enough on the medical side to kind of take that and say, holy cow, like what's happening?
Okay.
And what people need to understand is there's a lot of estrogenic and chemicals in these products that our skin absorbs. Well, our bodies produce hormones naturally. So if you have what's called xenoestrogens, these false hormones in your body stops to produce what's real. Well, your hormones are what holds a baby to term. Your hormones are what perfectly create a baby in the womb. Mm-hmm. Your hormones are also what regulates your weight. It regulates for all of us, are we tired or are we, wide awake? It regulates so much in our bodies that when you're mimicking these hormones with these other chemical compounds, we're in trouble.
And so you launched Molly's Suds, an inspiration for the loss of your daughter in 2008, right?
We did.
And what have you grown it into today? What has it become today?
So Molly's Suds started out in 2008. I was just going to farmers markets and taking this product and saying, hey, this is really an education platform for me. Did you know that the detergent industry is not regulated? Did you know that there are over 300 chemicals that create a detergent? And it became a talking point for people that were concerned with their health or that wanted to learn something new. And then from there in 2012, we went to the brick and mortar. We started on our first store, which was actually Rollin' Oats in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Now, hold that point. I want to take a quick break, but coming back from a break, I want to talk to you about how your product is different, how it protects people against all those chemicals, and a little bit more about, I'm interested in this not regulated business also, and how it affects people in the, that are using these different chemical products. Currently talk with Monica Leonard, founder of Molly's Suds, and you can learn more about her at mollyssuds.com. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Couple lanes blocked on State Road 54, eastbound direction just before Livingston Road. There's a crash. Also, one on the Bel Air Causeway blocking both directions. Avoid that area. You'll have to use Walsingham to get around there. Southbound Veterans Expressway still very slow from Hutchinson to Waters. And, of course, typical delays in Tampa, southbound 275 from Fowler to Hillsborough and northbound 275 off to Howard Franklin. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and New York Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Does your child struggle to concentrate and pay attention? What looks like ADD or autism may actually be caused by lead poisoning. Lead is a neurotoxin. It can cause permanent brain damage. Find out how to protect your family. Go to leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 78. Tomorrow, a 50-50 rain chance, high 90.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, it's Wednesday, so it's Working Women Wednesdays, our weekly feature brought to us by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group, and learn more about them over at WorkingWomenOfTampaBay.com. Currently talk with Monica Leonard, founder of Molly's Suds, and you can learn more about her and her company and her products at Molly'sSuds.com. So, Monica, in that last segment, we're talking on the dangers of some of these household products that we kind of take for granted, and you were saying that the industry is unregulated and there's just so many dangerous chemicals in these products. I mean, how do your products differ from these household names?
So I'll give you an example. Our biggest seller is our laundry powder. It's just our regular laundry powder. Instead of using fragrance and dyes, which we do not, we have only 5 ingredients in our product as compared to 120 to over 300 ingredients. A lot of people feel like if they use all free and clear or any of the free and clear detergents that they're staying away from a whole bunch of chemicals. But what they don't realize is those chemicals are still in the product. And what they have to think of is that these big chemical companies are still going to want to cover scent. So all they do is they add in galaxolide. And galaxolide is a synthetic musk. It's found in the blood. It's found in breast milk. And galaxolide, it's damaging to our bodies and it's stored in our cells. And if you think about, a hunter is going to want to cover his scent, right? Well, galaxolide goes into the fibers and just masks odor. Mm-hmm. That's all it does. And then there's optical brighteners in many mainstream detergents also found in breast milk. So the biggest thing for us is to get back to what's really needed to assist the water to clean. Water is a perfect surfactant. Mm-hmm. And so we just need to add in the necessary ingredients to help the water to clean. So we only have 5 ingredients in our major detergent. We have 4 ingredients in our cloth diaper and baby laundry detergent. And we have 4 ingredients in our oxygen whitener, which is a non-chlorine bleach, and it's fabulous, especially for the hard water areas. I was
going to ask you, so take me through the products and, line them out for me simply.
Sure.
What you have right now.
Sure. We have a 120-load laundry powder, and we also have a 70-load version for those that want to try it. It's only a tablespoon per load for our detergent, so a little goes a long way. The other thing as a working mom, is that you want value for your money, but with natural products, you also want something that really works. So our mantra has always kind of been affordable, effective, and eco-responsible, and to create products that are safe for people and the planet. So our 120 load and our 70 load laundry powder. We also have our oxygen whitener. We have our cloth diaper and baby laundry powder, which helps to brighten the whites also naturally. It's fabulous. And we partnered with the Real Diaper Industry Association on that. So it is formulated with none of the ingredients that would void a cloth diaper warranty. We have our All Sport, which is fantastic. It's actually completely non-toxic, and it really gets the stink out of athletic apparel. It's safe for all the wicking materials and the SPF type materials. So anybody who has either a sports uniform, or if they're in the military and they cannot have optical brighteners, it's an ideal product for
And what chemical,
athletes.
or what I would say chemical, but what are you using to then get the fragrance? And what fragrance do your products kind of have, or is it just like one fragrance across all the board?
We don't use any fragrance.
So no fragrance. So these have. Is that a drawback to marketing of the product a little bit? Do you kind of get some pushback because it doesn't have the fragrance that people are looking for?
Whenever people are switching, we consider ourselves a transitional brand. Someone usually starts with a Tide. And then from there, they'll go to a free and clear version of whatever detergent because they think that they're getting away from chemicals. And then from there, they're looking for a natural product. Once they learn, oh my goodness, like there are still so many chemicals in these products, I want to get away from them. We're a transitional brand. So by the time they get to us, they realize that fragrance, all fragrances are synthetic. There's over 3,000 chemicals that create fragrance. I'll give you another statistic. So in the United States alone, there's 85,000 chemicals approved for use, but they've only tested 200 of those chemicals for human safety.
Wow.
So it's staggering. So once we kind of educate people, they realize, okay, I don't need fragrance. Phthalates are what make the fragrance stick, and parabens also help with that. And 80% of all breast tumors in women have phthalates and parabens in them.
So do you think in the household products, the biggest problem is the fragrance chemicals that people
I think it's just one component.
Using?
I think it's one component. If you walk down the detergent aisle, you are immediately slapped in the face and overwhelmed. And really for us, the vision is to walk down that detergent aisle and be able to have a choice. Not just have these conventional products on the shelf, but also have something that is truly safe. Let the consumer make its choice. Let them say, oh wait, what is this product, and why would I want to get that?
I see you have a dog shampoo also.
We do. We have a dog shampoo. Kind of a random story, but we had a dog named Nova, and she had very sensitive skin towards the end of her little doggy life. And she had hot spots, and we could not find a dog shampoo at the time that was truly safe and affordable. And so we created this non-toxic version where if they lick it, they're safe still. And it can go on open wounds, and it really helps to heal the skin. But not only that, it actually dissolves the exoskeleton of fleas and ticks and their eggs. So while it's not a pesticide, it doesn't continue to kill them. When you wash your dog, they just kind of fall off. So it's fabulous. We also have wool dryer balls. And our wool dryer balls replace the need for toxic fabric softener and fabric softener sheets in your dryer. They last for up to 1,000 loads or 3 years. And you take all 3 of these hand-felted wool balls and you toss them in your dryer and you leave them. And they reduce your laundry drying time by 15 to 30%. And ours were hand-felted by a fabulous Nepalese village in Nepal, where they help to employ these women, and they actually offer free childcare while they're working. So it's awesome.
Is there any issues with people in sensitive skins with your product, or do people go to this product without any issues?
No, they go to our product because usually they have eczema, or they have chemical sensitivity disease, or they have certain medications where it makes their skin more sensitive. So people come to us looking for a product that is safe, that is gentle, but yet that is effective.
And where are your products located? Where are you in any big box stores? I forget. I think you mentioned that last segment, but I want to get that
That's
out
okay,
there.
sure. So we actually manufacture in St. Petersburg, Florida. So it's locally manufactured and distributed. You can find us in Rollin' Oats in St. Pete and Tampa. You can find us in Nutrition Smart and Abby's Health and Nutrition. Toonies. We are in most of the natural, 1 to 9 chain stores in Florida, but then we're also throughout the country. We've just expanded recently from Florida all the way to the other side of the pond in California. So.
Wow. Great inspirational entrepreneurial story. Monica Leonard, thank you very much for being in studio as part of this Working Women Wednesdays feature and letting us know about this.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, that was Monica Leonard, founder of Molly's Suds. Learn more about her and her company at mollyssuds.com. Stay tuned. Coming back from the break, I'm going to be talking with Renee Dabbs, founder and co-chair of We Will Tampa Bay, as part of our Working Women Wednesdays feature on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Access.
813-96 Glass. We turn your broken glass into cold hard cash. Auto Glass America.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Traffic slow in both directions on State Road 54 near Livingston Road, especially in the eastbound direction where a couple lanes are blocked there. Also, the Bel Air Causeway closed in both directions. Avoid that area. Use Walsingham Road as your alternate. Otherwise, still some typical delays along westbound I-4, anywhere in the Ybor City area, and, of course, through downtown Tampa. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Udrick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Bill Curry Ford.
I'm Jameis Winston. When I needed a vehicle, my friends Mike Evans, Mike Glennon, and Mike Allstott sent me to Bill Curry Ford. Right, guys?
Yep. People are making the switch.
They get you out the door in under an hour.
And nobody beats their prices.
Only at Bill Curry Ford.
Winds, weather center forecasts. Hot day coming up for the Bay Area as the temperatures reach the low mid-90s. Once again, lots of sunshine throughout the day. Bit of cloud cover into the early afternoon will develop. Rain chance a little higher today, 30%. Could see a stray coastal shower, and then by the afternoon, those will develop along the sea breeze and move inland. Tonight's lows, 80 degrees. Impact Radio 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Thanks for staying tuned in, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Also, it's Wednesdays, so it's Working Women Wednesdays, weekly feature brought to us by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. Learn more about them and the organization at workingwomenoftampabay.com. Also, be reminded of the upcoming state conference, and you get your tickets over at workingwomenconference.com. That event being held September 10th and 11th at the Straw Center. And if you use promo code Maloney 2015, you can get a 10% off of those tickets. Again, workingwomenconference.com to pick up your tickets for that, and workingwomenoftampabay.com to learn all about the organization and see their many events. They do something nearly every day, and just a great organization to be a part of if you're a professional in the Tampa Bay region. Also, be sure to check out my website, tampabayradio.com, to keep up to date with all the show happenings. Also on the site, you'll see I sell real estate, so on the site you can peruse all the local real estate listings and also see all of my properties prior to hitting the market, as I am a bank-owned property specialist, and the properties are assigned to us listing agents for these banks weeks to months in advance of ever actually hitting the marketplace. And so you only on my website at tampabayradio.com can you see my listings and my team's listings sometimes weeks to months in advance of actually hitting the multiple listing service, so you can begin to conduct your due diligence and get ready to put in an offer, as it's a very competitive marketplace in Tampa Bay right now. It's very undersupplied, and so definitely want to be prepared when it comes time to put in an offer on a property. And as always, I extend an invite to the home sellers out there in the Tampa Bay region looking to put their home up on the marketplace. I will send you over a free home valuation if you click on the Sell Your Home link on tampabayradio.com and put in your home's information, and we'll get you over a free home valuation typically within 24 to 48 business hours. Time to bring on my next guest for the show. Renee Dabbs is the founder and co-chair of We Will Tampa Bay, which works to position women in leadership and the political arena. Renee, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
So first off, let's talk about a little bit more. What is We Will Tampa Bay?
We Will Tampa Bay is a symposium that we bring women that are corporate level, not-for-profit, government, and politics together in a room and engage in a very structured conversation. The whole purpose of it is to increase the acumen of everyone's ability to engage in the process. And as an outcome, what we do is we ask everybody in the room to take some kind of action after they leave the meeting. This is our second year, and in 2014 when we had it, our goal was that 40% of the women in attendance would actually do something when they left. We surveyed 3 months later, and 52% of women engaged. We felt very excited about that. Our sponsors felt very excited about that, and as a result, we're doing it again on October 2nd.
Now, how did all this come about? This is the second year of the symposium,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a background in leadership and politics, correct, too, right? Am I correct with that?
I do. I
Okay.
do. And so I have a little bit of an interesting background. I actually spent 16 years working in corporate America, and it was a very exciting time. Learned a lot about the corporate processes and also the importance of what the political process meant to them. Then I went into, for 10 years, producing media for political campaigns. As I started taking a look at women and the engagement of women, I realized that there was a huge gap, and that what typically happens with women, and if you read anything about Lean In, is that women really need to be asked to do things. We'd like to change that dynamic, but the reality is right now engagement is all about...
You said Lean In. What is Lean
That
In?
is Sheryl Sandberg's book that has created the big phenomena about
She's
women.
the Facebook
Yes.
chief operating officer
Correct.
or something, right?
COO,
Yes. Okay.
and has a phenomenal following as related to this. And as a result, women are engaging even more. So as I thought about this and had the opportunity to work with a political leadership institute last year, my interest wasn't as much in politics as it was in women, getting them engaged and giving them the processes in order to do so. And like I said, it was a huge success. I talk a lot to groups about this concept called turn and pull. And what I talk about is that in order to get women, we as women should be looking around where women are ready to engage in something and going and getting them engaged, asking them to be involved, reminding them of their skill set, encouraging them to use that skill set. Just like Monica talked about, she had a phenomenal story. It got her activated. That's what we want to do in this organization as well.
Now, this symposium is going on October 2nd, correct?
October 2nd.
Okay, and what goes on during the symposium? Is it a day-long event, or tell me a little bit about what to expect there?
It is a day-long event. October 2nd at the Mainsail Conference Center. The schedule is from 9 to 6 o'clock. We will have everything from 2 keynote speakers, Dr. Susan McManus, distinguished professor out of the University of South Florida. She'll speak basically about what women are doing in politics, kind of bring it local. Our keynote speaker, which we're very excited about, is Dr. Deborah Walsh out of the Center for American Women in Politics at the Eagleton Institute at Rutgers University, and by far one of the most premier think tanks around women in politics and engagement. They do a program called Running Start, where they actually help women get recruited. Then we'll do panels on several topics. We'll have a panel called Women Who Serve. And with that panel, we'll have Representative Janet Cruz, Representative Dana Young, Chairwoman of the Hillsborough County Commission, Sandy Merman, Honorable Pat Frank, Clerk of the Circuit Court. I bring her up specifically because one of the most amazing things about her story is she tells the story about how she ran and ran and ran and lost and lost and lost and then won.
Yeah.
And it's all about keeping at it.
Right.
And it's just such an amazing story. We also will talk about making a career of it, because this really isn't about running for office. And I think some people think that's what it is. This is about engaging in the process. So we're
so it's not just politics, it's also just positions of leadership then, correct? Okay.
Yep. Choosing a career in the political arena, being able to influence what you believe in, influencing policy, influencing organizations. And we'll have women. For example, Melissa Satius from Duke Energy will facilitate. We'll have Dr. Helen Levine from University of South Florida, St. Pete, Carrie Eisenbeitz, Director of Government Relations from Baycare Health Center, and Lauren Weiner, who has started up a not-for-profit called In Gear Career. And these women are going to talk about, hey, if you want to get engaged, but you want to do it on a career level, here's how we did it. Here's how we traverse our roles into engagement, and here's how we encourage women to be more involved.
You said something interesting in a couple of talking points ago that women have to be asked to do something. Why is it? Why do they differ from men, where men tend to, in leadership roles, they just get out there and do it? Why do women have to be asked to participate in politics and leadership type of situations?
I think, one, we underestimate our own skill set, and I believe over time, often women's skill sets are underestimated. So I think there's this conditioning of, if I get asked, then I know people think I'm worthy to do it. So I'll give you an example. I was in Washington, D.C., talking to one of the national committees about this particular race, and that they were talking to men and women. And we were talking about the overall concern of the ability of women to fundraise, which, oh, by the way, they can. And so one of the things they said is, when they bring men in, that men are like, and they'll say to a man, hey, we need you to raise $1 million. And the man will leave the room and go, they loved me. They want me to raise $1 million. I'm going to be amazing. This is awesome. They have the woman in next, and they say to the woman, all right, in order to win this race, you'll need to raise $1 million. And she goes, okay. And she leaves. She goes, oh, no, worst thing, they didn't like me. I have to raise $1 million. It's really just getting in the right mindset and understanding what you can do. But women are relational. And we like a support group around us. And the more women that we engage in the process to help us, the more successful we are. I tell the story about Congresswoman Susan Brooks out of Indiana. Her deputy chief of staff was one of her executive officers, or one of the executive officers with her at Junior League of Indianapolis. Her entire campaign process was helped by her sorority sisters from Alpha Omicron Pi. It is the sisterhood. And when you engage the sisterhood, you can't stop it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm partnering with the Junior League of Tampa and Working Women at Tampa Bay, because these are groups that engage women, and this process is to engage women to become more involved in the political process. You just mentioned Alpha Omicron Pi, the AOPIs. They were on back in my days at Florida Southern. They were our sister sorority, so to speak, on campus, and had a great relationship with them. Many of them are my friends to this day. So interesting that you just hit that talking point right there, but I won't cover that. And I'm too an AOPIs, by the way. Oh, hey, it's a great organization too. Right. So, do women legislate and lead differently than men, and how so? Well, it's we believe women are more collaborative by nature, and whether that's just we've adjusted to the environments we've been in, I'll leave that up to the social scientists. But here's what I know. I know that the more we read about women, the more we understand the future of leadership is really going to be best suited for women leaders. And when you talk about millennials, and there's a lot of people that are much more experts of it than I am, it talks about what millennials respond to, and it is women leadership. Also, when we were in the threatened political shutdown or government shutdown, John McCain stood up and basically said, if it hadn't been for the women in the U.S. Senate, we would have never gotten through the crises. And that is a really perfect tagline, if it hadn't been for the women. Yeah, no, and I agree with that statement. I think women make excellent leaders. I've always said that. Us men kind of get, pigeonholed into one thing, and we get stubborn, and we just can't get out of that. I'm guilty of that too, and I love the women's input on things, and so I'm definitely guilty of that. Carly Fiorina's here in the news a lot. She's moving up in the polls on the Republican side. Talk to us about what's going on with her. First and foremost, she is a phenomenal woman. Her background and her global impact of what she did at HP, as well as then ran for U.S. Senate in California, and then was working with the McCain campaign as a surrogate. She is very savvy in both the corporate world and the political world. And as you can see, that's resonating with people in the country. Her message isn't resonating because she's a woman. Her message is resonating because it is a very on target to what is concerning people in our country. But what I really do respect about her is, although she's not running as a woman candidate, she's taking on some of the things that have kept women from being successful in the process. She uses a term that I always talk about, and that is, we're 53% of the voting population. We are not we are a majority, not a special interest group. And I love that line, because what happens when you're a majority? You think differently, you act differently. I've never heard women call it a special interest group. We hear it a lot. And that is that you're supposed to treat them a special way and that type of thing. So I think she's doing great. And we're seeing it in her numbers. And, she was not on the stage for the first debate in Cleveland, but she was in what they called the happy hour debate. Yeah, she wasn't top 10, so she couldn't make the debate, although the moderators were talking about her, how well she had done coming into that debate that aired at 9 o'clock. And I will be very disappointed if she's not on the next stage. I think she definitely, the main stage, I think she definitely will. And I just think that, women appreciate her honesty, but it transcends much more than just women.
Now, who can, at the symposium, again, being held October 2nd, people can get some information on this at the website wewilltampabay.org. Is this open to anybody, or how can people get involved in this?
Yeah, first of all, we'd love to have you out there. I mean, this is a phenomenal event. We were a very small event last time and then realized we had a much larger following potential. And so you can go to the website. The tickets are for sale. We're having an early bird special through August 31st. You can come for $75, which I think is definitely worth the investment. And we also have sponsorships, table and VIP tickets. And so we really are excited. And the one thing I want to emphasize, at the end of the day, we're going to have a very structured, facilitated session where we create action plans. And you'll be amazed at you'll love the amazing women who are going to facilitate those. They're women like Jessica. They're women like Yvonne Fry, who is the Hillsborough Commission on the Status of Women. And these women have worked in the process, but more importantly, believe so much in women and helping women be successful in our community. And when you leave that day, you're going to have if you choose to, you're going to have your own personal action plan related to the topic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to survey you again, and we're going to find out. And our goal, again, is 40%, but I expect that we'll exceed that.
And you said last year you had about 52% engagement?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did anybody get into those great leadership roles or political positions from that event that you can think of off?
Well, we had a couple women, one woman particularly that ran, and she put it out there, and she really did bring her network forward with a lot of women. I had women coming back to me and said, as a result of this, I'm doing a fundraiser. As a result of this, I've donated to this PAC. As a result of this, I've done this. One more session I want to mention, because I think it is really interesting, is, I don't know if you know this, but in 2012, the Obama and the Romney campaign managers were both women for the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. Think about Florida as being arguably one of the top one or two most influential states from a political standpoint. These women have yet to ever be together at an event, let alone on a stage, and they're going to come and talk about the process.
Oh, wow.
And I have to tell you, that's probably of all the great things we're going to do that day, and that's why I say if you are anything interested in what happened, is come see this, because it's going to be facilitated by Kathleen Shanahan, who is a CEO of Eurotech, as well as a past Bush chief of staff. And it's going to be really interesting to see the inside true story of how these women kind of dealt with being a woman at that level day to day in one of the most influential states, and the pressure that comes from the national, and the fact that they were running the show.
Well, it sounds like you got a great panel of participants, and so something people that are out there listening can definitely want to get involved with if they're a woman out there looking to get into some type of leadership or political role. Great starting point for listeners out there in the community. Got to take a quick break. Currently talking with Renee Dabbs, founder and co-chair of We Will Tampa Bay. Learn more about her and this organization at wewilltampabay.org. You're currently listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage wants you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Got very slow traffic on westbound I-4 from before the Selman Connector, actually back to around 50th Street to 275. Also then on 275 through downtown Tampa. Also still a lot of slow traffic on the Veterans Expressway in the area of Citrus Park from anywhere from Ehrlich down to around Waters. Bel Air Causeway remains closed in both directions. Avoid that area. Use Walsingham as your alternate. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Someone you know is suffering from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. They're dealing with excruciating pain and days when they won't be able to get out of bed. Help someone you know and support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America at ccfa.org.
Today, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 78. Tomorrow, a 50-50 rain chance, high 90.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And as always, learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with me on the different social media sites. You can find me over on Facebook.com/That Business Show. Also, follow me on Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. And again, all shows are streamed here live in studio. So we do put the shows up on TampaBayRadio.com. You can watch us live by clicking on the Watch Live Stream button and then find it on demand on that channel or on that website as well. And on YouTube, just search for Jamie Maloney on the YouTube website as well. It's Wednesday, so it's Working Women Wednesdays, weekly feature brought to us by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. Learn more about them and the organization and their many events at workingwomenoftampabay.com. Currently talk with Renee Dabbs, founder and co-chair of We Will Tampa Bay, and learn more about this in the symposium at wewilltampabay.org. So Renee, let's run through the event again, when it's going on, where it's at, and how people can get involved.
Yes, Women Empowering Women in Legislation and Leadership is going to be Friday, October 2nd, 2015. I also want to say it's very important. It is a nonpartisan political symposium, and I want people to hear that loud and clear. So you're going to get both sides of the aisle, and that's what part of what is most fun about it. Also, the other thing I want to emphasize is timing on this. I mean, we are going right into what's going to be a very exciting political year. There are no sure things coming out of this, and at times when there's no sure things, there's opportunities to influence even more than at any other time. And that's why we want to get the women of the Tampa Bay community engaged, and we're very excited about it. Again, from what's going to happen, we're going to have Dr. Susan McManus. We're going to have a morning session of Women Who Serve, and then a second session called Making a Career of It. We'll have our keynote speaker, Dr. Debbie Walsh. We're going to have afternoon sessions about the importance of money, women in charge, and then Get Involved Now roundtables that will be facilitated to help with action plans. I have to thank Bank of America, Duke, USF St. Pete, and Bank of Tampa for their sponsorship and allowing me, myself, Junior League of Tampa, and Working Women of Tampa Bay to bring this to the community. Please come out and join us. It will be one of your best days you've invested in yourself.
And also, are you looking for more sponsorships open still for the event?
Sponsorships are definitely open, and you can go on the website, and there are sponsorship opportunities. Give me a call directly or email me. And also, we have VIP tickets and tables available as well. One of the things we try to do is create an environment where we mix up the tables and bring women together that you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to see on a regular basis. You get to meet them, and I think it just brings the entire community from a political standpoint closer.
Now, how has been the community involvement in this? You started this just last year, right?
Yep.
I mean, how has it grown over this past year? I mean, people tell you, what you do is so interesting. Tell me how this is developed and what you see for this long term.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like you said, people are like, what do you do is so interesting? And I got to thinking about it, and I kept saying, political is just like business. And if you just kind of look at it like a process, you really can deconstruct it and engage in it on wherever you bring most value. So as a result of this, I do get asked to speak to groups frequently and talk through kind of where I think women are going, what I think they can do, where I think their leadership skills are best suited. And women are reaching out to me and asking me what they can do, how they can do it. It is scary running for office, and I really respect and value anyone that does it. And so if you're thinking about it and you need a cheerleader, you just let me know, because I will be in your corner.
Now, how has the Working Women of Tampa Bay networking group and your involvement with them? I know Jessica Rivelli, CEO and founder, is a co-chair, but talk to me about how the involvement with that organization has helped you in this organization.
Yeah, first of all, Jessica Rivelli is a rock star in our community, and I respect what she's done and continues to do. 1,000 events is unbelievable. Jessica and I, after We Will last year, sat down and talked about the importance of what I would call the small business community. And as we all know, small business is driving the economy in our country. And we started talking about, just think about if we took that acumen to women that were just starting out businesses, that were working through permitting, that were trying to figure out how to make the business environment more friendly, how much more engagement we would have, but equally important, what these women would get out of it. And Jessica is the network for that group. If you're thinking small business in the Tampa Bay area, it is Working Women of Tampa Bay. I love her community. Her community, when I speak in front of it, is so warm and so engaging that when you walk away, you think you can do anything. And I want all of these women in the room together so they walk away all thinking they can do anything.
Well, hey, it's a great symposium, and definitely, hopefully, some listeners out there will take advantage of this. And again, this is going on, was October 2nd, right?
October 2nd at the Main Sale Conference Center in Tampa Bay, basically the Veterans and Hillsborough.
All right, and people can pick up tickets at wewilltampabay.org, right?
Correct, and don't miss the early bird through August 31st.
All right. Renee, thank you very much for being in studio, part of this Working Women Wednesdays feature.
Thank you, Jamie. Great program.
Absolutely. That was Renee Dabbs, founder and co-chair of We Will Tampa Bay. Again, learn more about her and this organization and the event, the symposium, I should say, at wewilltampabay.org. Also want to thank Monica Leonard, founder of Molly's Suds, who is on the second segment of the show. Learn more about her and her amazing product at mollyssuds.com. And also thank you to Jessica Rivelli, CEO and founder of the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group, for being part of this weekly feature brought to us by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. Learn more about her and the organization, workingwomenoftampabay.com, and pick up your tickets for the Working Women Conference at workingwomenconference.com, being held September 10th and 11th at the Straw Center. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.